Hey guys, so today I'm filming a review and a few on the ColourPop Super Shock Cheeks, which are their brand new blushes. I have already filmed a review on the ColourPop Super Shock eyeshadows and all their lip products. I will have those videos linked for you if you want to check those out. So now just jumping right into the review of these amazing blushes. So first I want to talk about price and availability. These blushes retail for $8 and you can only buy them on ColourPop.com. Now a lot of people have been complaining that these blushes cost more than ColourPop's traditional loved price of $5, but I think it's totally worth it. So here is a blush compared to an eyeshadow. An eyeshadow comes with 2.1 grams of product and a blush comes with 4.2. So you are getting exactly double the amount of product without paying double the price. ColourPop could be charging you $10 for these blushes, but they're only charging $8, and I think that is a great price for these products, so I am not mad at that at all. So now moving on to packaging. First I want to talk about the box that it comes in. So it is similar to the eyeshadow container, except it is bigger, and also on the top and bottom is this really beautiful coral color. On the eyeshadows it has a turquoise teal shade, and on the lipsticks it has a really pretty purple, so I like that they're all a little bit different. And on the bottom of the box you have the name of the blush and the finish, which I really like. And then onto the packaging of the actual product, it looks exactly the same as the eyeshadow, but it is bigger. You have their classic white packaging and you have ColourPop written on the lid in a holographic writing. On the back is the name of the blush and the finish. I really like that they include the finishes on the back of these products. I think that's really just helpful to know. So in all of your ColourPop orders, you will receive some info cards on their eyeshadows, their lip products, and their blushes. So on this info card, it gives you the claims and their tips and tricks for application, which I will talk about when I get to the application part, but I will read you the claims on the back of this card. It says, this long-wearing cream powder blush is the BFF of our infamous Super Shock shadow. It shares the shadow's unique, buoyant texture and feels super silky. Cheeks look healthy and flawless. Super Shock Cheek comes in matte and satin finishes. Our blush is available in a ton of shades, from natural nudes to naughty neons. Get cheeky, experiment, and play. So those are not very outrageous claims. They're basically just describing the texture, and I would definitely agree with them. These claims are quite accurate. So as the card says, ColourPop blushes do come in two finishes, satin and matte. The satin do have some noticeable shimmer to them, but it's not over the top, so I wouldn't be afraid of that. And the mattes are true matte shades. And a couple of days ago, ColourPop just released their new spring line, which includes 3 new blushes, and one of them is a pearlized finish, which is brand new, so I want to try that out and see how it compares to the satin finish blushes, and I'll have to let you guys know about that. So now moving on to the shades in the collection, there are 20, which I think is a really great variety, and I'm sure that they will expand on that in the future. So I will have all of these shades listed down below with their finish and color description. I will also list down below the 3 limited edition shades with their finish and color description, if that will be helpful for you guys. But I purchased 4 of these, and there's at least one more that I want. When I purchased them, I had only seen one video, so I was kind of buying blindly, but I'm super happy with all 4 that I got. So the first shade I have is Holiday, which is a matte finish, and ColourPop describes this as a mid-tone peachy pink, and I would say that's pretty accurate. I think that this is a bit bright, which is really pretty, but it is on the lighter side, but it is a true peachy pink color, which I really love. The next shade I have is Fox, which is a satin finish, and ColourPop describes this as a mid-tone warm coral, and I see this more as a burnt peach type shade. I wouldn't quite call it coral, but it is so beautiful, and this is the only satin finish that I purchased. The next shade I have is Early Bird, which is a matte finish, and ColourPop describes this as a bright red coral. I think that this is definitely more of a rose coral than a red coral, but it is very bright and intense, super beautiful. The last shade I have is Clutch, which is a matte finish. ColourPop describes this as a bright rosy red, and I would describe this color as more of a red coral. The Early Bird shade definitely pulls more rose than the Clutch, but this is a super bright one. This is the one that I'm wearing today. So I wanted to show you all 4 blushes compared to each other. The top shade is Holiday. The second shade is Fox. The third shade is Early Bird. The last shade is Clutch. So guys, now I'm going to insert my Instagram swatch pictures of these blushes because they were super true to color. So now moving on to texture and pigmentation. Starting with texture, I want to make sure I describe it correctly. So the blushes feel a bit more creamy than the shadows. In the shadows, I can feel a little bit more of that powder, but in the blushes, it feels very creamy, especially if you compare it to a metallic finish or a pearlized finish. These don't feel as creamy, but if you compare the blushes to the matte eyeshadow formula, these are a bit more creamy than their traditional shadows. I'm guessing just because it doesn't have the shimmer in it, whatever their matte formula is a bit creamier. But I still find it very easy to work with. Also for texture, these are not like a traditional cream blush. The texture isn't exactly like a Maybelline Dream Bouncy blush, but it is similar to it, where they are more dry. If you are oily skin like me, cream products might scare you because they can tend to go everywhere. These are gonna stay in place, and these go on more of a cream but dry down to a powder, which I really love. But it's not gonna look powdery on the skin if you're dry either. It will look very natural, so this blush will be great for all skin types. So as far as pigmentation goes, these are quite pigmented but also buildable. You can apply light layer of blush, see how you like it, and then add more, which I really like. And also these blushes do stain the skin, which I think is nice. It makes them more long wearing, so I really enjoy that factor. So now moving on to the application of this product. This is where people have had the most questions, and on the little info card they give you tips and tricks about application. They say fingertips will provide the highest amount of coverage. Their brush suggestions say to use a flat synthetic cheek or foundation brush or a short duo fiber brush. A flat synthetic brush will give more coverage, and a duo fiber will give a more sheer airbrush effect. Color builds from natural looking flush cheeks to more intense bright looks. Build to your heart's desire. And I would totally agree. I have tried all three ways. With your fingertips, it does give more coverage. So if you want to create a base with a brush and then go in with your fingers and just add a little bit more color where you like, then I think that's a great option. I'm someone that does not like to use my fingers at all for makeup. But like they said, I did try it with a short, small duo fiber brush and a more dense foundation brush, and they are totally right. This is the e.l.f. small stipple brush, and this brush will give a more airbrush appearance, and it won't apply as much product. So if you're someone that really likes a natural looking cheek, I would recommend this brush. But if you're someone like me that you want people to see your blush, then I would recommend a dense synthetic brush like this. This is the Real Techniques buffing brush. I really like the shape of this. I think it fits perfectly on the cheeks. That's what I use today. And I just start up by my hairline and will take it down towards the apples. I think that both of these brushes work really well with the texture of those blushes. And of course you can use your fingers, like I said, to give you a little bit more pigmentation, but it really depends on your preference. I like all three ways, but my favorite is using the Real Techniques buffing brush. And another thing I wanted to mention about the application is that these blushes can be applied over face powder, which I love. I am very oily skin and I use a colored face powder, so for me, I don't want to apply my cream blush, bronzer, and highlight and then put my face powder on top because it will change the color. But because this cream blush is not a real cream blush, it has more of a dry consistency, it applies beautifully over powder, which I'm super happy about. That is definitely one of the biggest perks for me when it comes to this blush. That is what I have been doing, and it works perfectly. It does not ball up on the skin or change texture. I think it works perfectly. So for lasting power, these blushes last all day on me. I really am impressed with that stain power. And guys, now giving you my overall rating, I'm gonna give these a 4 out of 5. I love all of the colors I have. I want to get more. The reason that this is not getting a perfect score is, for me, I prefer the consistency of powder blushes. While I love this for a cream blush, I do overall enjoy straight powder blushes more, but I'm gonna buy more of these. I totally recommend them and I do love them, but that is a reason it is not getting a perfect score. So if you are someone that really likes cream blushes, then you will be obsessed with these. So guys, that is my review on the ColourPop Super Shock Cheeks. Please leave a comment down below if you have tried these and let me know your thoughts. Also let me know what shades you have. The other shade I really want to get is Between the Sheets. It's a really nice neutral blush, so that will be part of my next order. Let me know if you picked up anything from this spring line as well. I'm waiting to see some more videos and swatches on it before I purchase them, but I'm definitely interested in the blushes, eyeshadows, and lippy sticks. So guys, thank you so much for watching. Please rate, comment, and subscribe, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye guys.